There once was a Brahmin, a member of the highest order of priestly caste in all of India, and he had a wish to unseat a god named Indra, the god of storms and bringer of rains. And so he decided to create a son, no ordinary son. This son would be imbued with the Brahman's powers, and he was a glorious sight to behold, for he had 3 heads. One head to recite the prayers, the Vedas, the second to eat, and the third to survey all and wide, of which he felt kindly ennobled to look after. And then, as you can imagine, watching all of this from above, Indra, the god of storms, was absolutely worried that his power would be unseated. So he collected, up in heaven, an assortment of maidens with diaphanous clothes and beautiful curls and perfumes to mesmerize, and sent them down to tempt this pious young son of the holy Brahmin. Despite what they attempted, swirling about him, enticing him, he would have none of it, but rather he just looked ahead with cloudless eyes at the horizon, surveying all with his gentle manner. Indra was angry at this, and so he grabbed his thunderbolt, Varga, whoosh, and slayed immediately the young son of the Brahmin. But even in death, the young son could not be kept from his glory and his power. Fill the skies with light, the heavens were bright, even in his death. More infuriated, Indra sent the woodcutter to chop off all 3 heads. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. But even from the severed heads came the musical melody of many, many birds which filled the wondrous sky. What a sight to behold. Now you might imagine, what is the Brahmin, the father of the son, thinking of this murder? So he decided to set himself to creation once again, this time creating a god with a head so big it scraped the sky, and so fearful was this demon of the drought that the clouds held back their rain in fear. The Brahmin instructed that the demon of the drought go after Indra, god of storms and bringer of rains, in retribution for his murdered son. And so such a battle ensued, and I am glad that you were not there. For the seas boiled and the heavens shook with the violence of it all. And at one point, it appeared, just briefly, that the demon of the drought had won. For he had swallowed Indra, the god, whole. And in the next moment, when the demon of the drought opened his mouth, Indra flew out of his mouth like a hound released from the stocks. But defeat had to be admitted, and Indra left feeling humiliated, did not know what to do, and so he consulted Vishnu, the god of storms and bringer of peace. And Vishnu said very, very carefully, "You must make peace with your enemy. There is no known weapon at this moment that can kill him." And so Indra confronted the demon of the drought and said, "I want to offer peace." And the demon, suspecting Indra of something not well intended, said, "Indeed I will, but there will be 3 things I require. 1, you may not slay me in the day or the night. You may not slay me with anything made of wood or iron or stone. And you may not slay me with a weapon that is either wet or dry. And so Indra agreed, and the demon walked away feeling he could not be slain with all these requirements. One day, walking along the seashore, what happened was, in the distance, Indra saw his enemy and wanted at the moment to kill him. But he remembered his promise and carried on. And then, all of a sudden, he noticed the sun was setting, and it was neither day nor night, and remembered his promise. And he walked a little further along, and all of a sudden, there was an amazing tower of foam springing from the sea. And again, he remembered his promise and said, "It is neither wood nor iron or stone, and it is neither wet nor dry." And he grabbed the tower of foam, crept up behind the demon of the drought, and slayed him with it, splitting his back in two. And at that moment of his death, the clouds, no longer fearful, came forward with their rain. And Indra grabbed his sword and sliced open the bellies of the mountains, and the water poured forth, replenishing the earth. The grains flourished, the flowers grew, and all were so content. But forever, Indra had to bear the burden of the memory that he had once killed the son of a Brahmin.